Hi, I'm Van Wallach. Last week's open mic on conspiratorial thinking included a reference to the Shroud of Turin. A friend of mine with a very keen intellect, Danusha, pointed out that the Shroud of Turin did not belong at all in the same group as the JFK assassination and Area 51 in Nevada. And you know what? She was right. And that made me think about, why did I mention the Shroud of Turin in my open mic to begin with? I'm well aware of it, but I'm not a follower in a constant sense of the Shroud of Turin and the research around it. Yet the shroud spontaneously rose to the top of my mind when I was preparing the piece. And I asked myself, why did I do it? What made the shroud something so evocative that I had to mention it? Well, before I get exactly into that, let me give you a brief description of it. The Shroud of Turin is an ancient linen cloth measuring 14 feet by 3.5 feet, with a faint image of a crucified man that millions believe is Jesus. The enduring mystery of the shroud is the faint, full-body image from both the front and the back of a 5'10" crucified man. So this man in the shroud has long hair, full beard, and a pattern of blood stains that track the wounds that were recorded in the four Gospels. It's been stored in Turin, Italy since 1578. Its history before that is a matter of conjecture and uncertainty. So questions abound about this piece of linen. Is the image of Jesus on it, or is that somebody else? Is the shroud truly ancient or a medieval work? Does it reflect the hand of God? Or is it an amazing artistic project that involves a negative image that would require the skills of Leonardo da Vinci, Pablo Picasso, and the world's greatest Photoshop user? I don't know. Those are the questions for debate. And debate it is. The shroud has inspired a vast body of analysis, response, and counter-analysis. A key moment came in 1978 with the first extensive scientific study of it. The official documenting photographer for the study is a man named Barry Schwartz, who started and still runs the website Shroud.com, which I looked at extensively in writing this. Schwartz is Jewish, by the way. The exhibit, the shroud itself will be the subject of an exhibit at the Museum of the Bible in Washington, D.C. in February 2022. And if the pandemic has run its course by then, I'd really like to go down and check it out. So back to my question about why did it come to my mind? Well, what makes the shroud urgently relevant in 2021 is the open-ended research over its authenticity, how the image got on it, the blood stains, type, and many other things. The research and debate over the shroud continues in what seems to me a spirit of professionalism, scientific method, and respect, based on what I've seen at the Shroud.com website and other places. There are no Twitter fights, no snarks, no canceling, no banning in academic journals. Whatever you think about this supercharged piece of linen is that it inspires what's good in humans in terms of discussing it and thinking about what it means. And so in these kind of crazy times we live in, that degree of respect and humanity is very inspiring to me. I welcome reminders of it. Well, the shroud also intrigues me because it combines the mundane, linen, with signs of the ineffable. It's a glimpse into the sacred as seen on earth. Another friend, Tibor, placed the scientific discussion in those terms of the shroud as an instrument for faith. He wrote to me, "The key issue is, does this debate lead people closer to Jesus Christ and through him to God the Father through the guidance of the Holy Spirit?" So for believers, you actually see Jesus in the shroud. At that point, your sense of faith is the determining factor in what its meaning is. So while Christianity is not my faith tradition, I can identify with the visceral impact of faith being strengthened through what I would call the instrumental power of rituals and objects. My faith tradition is Judaism, just like Barry Schwartz's. In the sense of both time and place, the shroud's creation 2,000 years ago, maybe, depending on what argument you make, overlaps with the Jewish festival of Passover. A thrilling part of the Passover Seder, for example, is that by telling the Passover story, I become part of the Exodus, a chain of telling that goes back over 3,000 years. The Haggadah, the Matzah, the four questions, the songs are all part of this world revealing itself, both in the past, the present, and the timeless. As the sages say in the Talmud, in every generation, a person is obligated to regard himself as if he personally left Egypt. So when I go to a Seder, I am actually there. I'm not going to make a direct comparison between the Shroud and the Seder, but it kind of serves a little bit of the same purpose. And so that's my take on the Shroud of Turin. Take it for what it is. I'm not trying to make some kind of complex theological argument here. I'm just kind of giving you my gut reaction to it and maybe what it means to me. It resonates on the level of scientific inquiry, as a pathway to faith, as a reminder of what faith can be in somebody's life, historical survivor, and maybe most important, it's a mystery. There are endless opportunities for understanding it, debating it. Use it as you will. I leave it up to you. Thank you.